Assalamu alaikum everyone, it's me, Big Z. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Okay, so the topic of discussion today is the mayoral elections of London that happened in May 2016, that'll be last month. It's a bit late, but you know, better late than never. I'm sure a Pakistani coined that term, I swear. First off, it is good news. You know, it's very happy to see that London decided that it doesn't matter what your ethnicity is or your background is. If people think that you're fit enough to run the city, then they will vote for you. It's a big blow to any form of racism out there, I think. It is very clear and simple that people want to say that this is a tolerant society and whoever deserves a job should get the job. However, I have my doubts that that's where the good news ends. Don't get me wrong, I'm really happy to hear, you know, that Sadiq Khan, especially a person from my minority, a Pakistani and a Muslim, has become the first Muslim mayor of a big city in the Western world. But there's a problem in how he got there that makes me a bit nervous. I'm not accusing of any rigging or anything like that, no, it's not that. It's more, I'm worried about the person himself. The reason behind me being worried about the person is he seems to have changed his perspectives on several things just to get into the mayor's office. Now that's not new, by no means is that new. However, at the very least, if you're lying as a politician to get into the office, you at least want to put up a front of some sort of reliability and consistency, right? Of course, the first thing I would like to say, which is very obvious for everybody, is just because a person is from your background, your ethnicity, your minority, your belief system, that doesn't mean that person will necessarily look out for you. I think we can all agree on that. I'm only going to mention a couple of things which makes me pretty nervous about the guy. For example, if we look back to about 2009, Sadiq Khan was very much pro-BDS. BDS, if you don't know, stands for Boycott, Diversion and Sanctions, and in regards to what people want to do against the Zionist state of Israel. So we'll boycott, we'll divert our investments away from it and put sanctions on the state of Israel because of what we believe to be their injustices caused on the Palestinian people. However, on the run-up to this election, Sadiq Khan suddenly decides that he is anti-BDS and is very vocal about it. Not only that, but within 24 hours of getting into the office, he is happy to go and make a meeting with the ambassador of Israel. Now some would argue that he's only trying to bridge gaps between communities that aren't known for getting along with each other. However, it's a bit soon, don't you think? Within 24 hours, he's shaking hands with the Israeli ambassador. I don't know, it might just be me, but I think he's trying to overcompensate on something. Not only that, there is another issue once upon a time while he's run up to the election. He did raise a question on wearing the hijab in London. Apparently there's a question to be asked about hijabs and their insidious nature. As if to say that most Muslim women don't want to wear the hijab. That's what gets Muslims nervous. You see, on the run-up to the election, we saw him in every single religious institution, arguably. And that's not the problem. Of course not. By all means, go to each section of community to let them know that you're backing them up. Problem is, we saw him nowhere near the Muslim community. Or at least, not as much so that would make us truly comfortable that he's on our side, if you like. Even after winning the mayoral election, we didn't see him anywhere near any of the masjids. I mean, he probably goes for his Friday prayers, that's good for him, that's not our concern. But if we look at it purely in terms of a political basis, he didn't seem to approach the one community that probably would back him the most. Both of these points, of course, they're purely skeptical, but they're enough to raise your eyebrows about it, I'm sure. Not only that, but if we look at it from a political point of view, Sadiq Khan is a Labour MP. And he seems to be on a warpath almost against the Labour Party leader, Jeremy Corbyn. Now, Jeremy Corbyn, you have to realize, for left-wing supporters like myself, he seems to be one of the most ideal candidates there are to lead a party. However, again, within 24 hours, Sadiq Khan is launching a tirade and attack on the character of Jeremy Corbyn. What perhaps he doesn't realize is, it's possibly because that he is the party leader that Sadiq got the vote in the first place. I guess what I'm trying to say is, just with these short points, is that I'm not entirely convinced that he's good news. Now, I could be wrong. That's perfectly plausible that I'm just being skeptical or paranoid. But there's a reason I bring this up. Once upon a time, Jeremy Corbyn called Hamas our friends. The Zionist lobby has not let him go since. If you are wondering why the Zionist lobby has such a strong grip on British politics, that's your answer. Not one thing goes under the radar. So I guess the purpose of this video is, if you live in London or have anything to do with London, basically keep your eyes on the new mayor. Because if he does anything questionable, we have to learn to hold people to account. Not just Sadiq Khan, but any MP throughout the country, any person of authority. Now, this point is specifically for Muslims, so if Muslims feel that you are being discriminated against, people are being racist against you, but you do not stand up for your own rights, you do not hold your local MPs to account, you do not hold your authority figures to account, then serves your right. Politics may be a complicated creature to understand at first, but whether you like it or not, politics rules your life. And if you do not stand up for your own rights, then you have no right to complain. There are many ways to do this. However, nothing worth doing is easy. So what I'm saying, again, for the Muslims, is that don't get starry-eyed that one of us has got into the mayor's office. If anything, it means we need to be more vigilant because he is representing us. Now, the purpose of this rant was simply to bring to your attention some concerns I had, and also perhaps to give you an awakening. This is our chance to exercise our responsibility towards society. There are already bodies in place, from the Muslim community at the very least, that can help us understand politics, help us participate, and help us decide our own future in this part of the world. So please, 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 stand up for your own rights and stand up for the rights of your fellow man from now on. Let's see what the comments bring.